I'm Amanda Addleman.
I'm Dynes.
And we've been playing shows in the Boston area as a duo. Mostly jazz and kind of some jazz-hued pop music, as well as some of my originals.
We both started at Berklee College of Music. That's where we went to school, and we've both been playing since we were really young. I was playing when I was 10. I think it's the same for Amanda, and I'm a guitarist. I add the color to the group, I guess, to the duo, where she kind of brings more of the main body of work, and she's the front person with the vocals and the lyrics and the accompaniment, piano, and she also takes solos. So we work together as a duo, and our strengths, kind of balance each other out, I think.
Probably September of last year is when we did our first round of shows. And since then we've played with my quartet, and then also as a duo.
And that was in the Bay Area.
Bay Area, yeah.
Yeah.
I think playing jazz can present a challenge because you spend your whole life studying this art form that's, some might argue quickly becoming a museum piece, similar to how classical music is, but yet we're still playing it in the clubs, and the clubs are actually kind of empty. So as a modern jazz artist, it's tough to balance playing very traditionally and very modern to see what people like. And what works for me, I found, is because before I started playing jazz, when I was really young, I was rooted in the music of the Beatles and pop music, so I kind of have just fused the two together to create a sound that's really based in jazz, but playing more contemporary material like Katy Perry or Kings of Leon or some of the dance tracks you hear on the radio. And I find that we still get our main jazz audience because we're still playing very traditionally, but then we still get the people our age, which is really nice because we can still reach people, and jazz hopefully will not disappear this way.
She kind of likes a lot of different types of music, and she's trying to not say that one's better than the other by kind of fusing them together in her music. And I sort of try to do the same thing with my guitar playing, with my own composing, which we haven't done any of my compositions yet together, but that's kind of what I take the same stance as Amanda does on that issue.
Especially because we play jazz, there's this, of course it's based around improvisation, but we never really know what's going to happen necessarily. We have these songs that we really like, at least ones that are very important to me, and I get to sing them every night, and that's really cool. But when you play with another musician and you're playing live, it's so open for anything to happen, and you kind of take it different directions every time you play it. And I think that's the coolest part, is just melding minds with somebody and coming out with something completely different than you expected.
Anytime I play with someone, or really anyone, but especially someone that's a sympathetic musician like Amanda is, and is really trying to create something new each time they play, that's my favorite part. And I'll even intentionally change things, about the piece or about my solo. I welcome mistakes at this point because I know that they're not going to throw me off so much that everyone in the audience is going to completely realize what happened. So I usually take a mistake and I try to roll with where I was trying to go when I made that mistake, and instead of focusing on the mistake and then just steering clear of it completely, I try to use that as an avenue to find new things. So I like that about playing live. It's not the pressure to be perfect like there is in the studio or something.
These melodies of these songs, they've always been really compelling to me, and they have a certain depth that I think a lot of current popular music lacks. And I feel like if it's that important to me, then maybe somewhere somebody will feel the same way, and as long as we're trying to appeal to everybody and not playing something so obscure that nobody understands except the musicians, then I think that hopefully we can kind of create a path, or at least jump on one that's slowly building.
I think that we're both trying to make something happen that's different. We're both making an effort to do that, and I think that really is the only way to keep jazz at its truest form, because I think of jazz as more like a mindset, because it can sound a myriad of ways. Like there is, there's hundreds upon thousands of jazz musicians trying to do their own thing and trying to do something different. And I think that that's the mindset that I'm talking about, the spirit of what jazz is. And it's about playing yourself, expressing yourself, and all art was contemporary once. I mean, the songs that we play at one point were the newest, most advanced, interesting things that there were, and they were the most popular songs. And I think now it's time for people to also come up with their own songs and their own ways of treating old songs. And jazz is supposed to kind of breathe and grow and change.
Yeah, evolve is supposed to be constantly evolving. That's how it was created.
That's what keeps me going.
Just like musicians, I think that's one of the coolest parts is that as you grow and change, so does the music, and I think that's pretty fascinating.
Yeah.